Welcome! This is Dr. Plague, and today we're going to show you how easy it can be to design your own custom parts and 3D print them. In this video, we're going to show you the entire process from start to finish. This you are not going to want to miss, so stick around! So, 3D printing is becoming more common these days. This has a lot to do with the affordability of 3D printers, and almost anyone can afford one now. I have used 3D printers for some time now, and have designed many custom parts. Some things that I have designed and 3D printed include a custom mounting plate for a video doorbell to match the contour where it is mounted. Parts for tools. I have 3D printed custom stop knobs for an organ I am designing, along with switch mechanisms, custom angle brackets, and nameplates, which is swell. Or is it great? I have even designed replacement parts for the 3D printer itself. These are just a few of the things I have designed and printed, and you are only limited by your own imagination. However, we are just going to design and print something very simple to start out with. If you will remember back to the third part of my video series on building a hamster bin cage, I mentioned that I would show you how I designed a custom spacer. This is what we'll make today. This is basically a very thick washer for a screw. There are a couple of pieces of software needed to do this, and the ones that I use are free to download. I am using an FDM or Fused Deposition Modeling 3D printer, and the process I use applies to this type of printer. First, I use a software package called FreeCAD to design my 3D models. What I like about FreeCAD is that it doesn't require a license. It's free to use, it's very powerful, I haven't found anything I can't design with it, and everything is stored locally to your machine, meaning you don't have to work from the cloud. Now, an FDM printer usually prints by laying down one layer of plastic at a time. In this manner, it fuses the layers together to form a solid object. So, we will need another piece of software called a slicer. The slicer I am using is called Cura. What this does is slices the 3D model up into layers that the 3D printer can then print. So, let's get started and load up FreeCAD. I'm going to create a new project and select the Part Design workbench from the pull-down. Then, I'll create a body and create a sketch using the XY plane to draw the spacer in 2 dimensions. I'm going to draw 2 circles, one for the hole and the other for the outside edge. I'll set the diameter of the hole to 3/16 of an inch and the outer diameter to 5/8 of an inch. Now, I'll pad this out to 1/4 of an inch, which will set the thickness of the spacer. See how it is now a 3-dimensional object? So, I will now export this to an STL file, which will define our 3D model for the slicer to do its job. I'll discard the changes since I will not be editing this anymore, and I have the STL file I need. Now, let's open this STL file with Cura. The first thing I'll do in Cura is multiply this model, since I want 2 of these spacers. Now, I'll slice it, and you can see it estimates 10 minutes to print these with about 2 grams of plastic. Let's preview what these will look like when printed. I will now simulate the printing of the spacers. The outside lines are called a skirt, and they are used to prime the nozzle of the printer. Three solid layers are laid down, and then the infill will consist of a cubic pattern to help save plastic without being completely hollow. All of these parameters can be adjusted to suit your needs. I will now save this to a G-code file which the 3D printer can understand. We'll put this on an SD card and bring it to the 3D printer. I'll turn on the printer and start the preheating. I am using PLA for the plastic filament, and I like to set the nozzle temperature to 220 degrees Celsius and the bed to 60 degrees. While the printer preheats, I'll start loading the plastic filament. I'll snip the filament at an angle to help insert it. I'll feed it through as far as it goes, then wait for the preheating to complete. Once the temperature is close enough, I'll squeeze a little plastic through the nozzle to clean out any leftover filament from previous parts, and pull it off to discard it. Next, I'll start the print by selecting the file on the SD card. And here it goes. Wow, check out the speed of that printer. Just kidding, I sped the video up. You can see it took 13 minutes to print, so the 10-minute estimate was a little off, but not a big problem. Now, after waiting for the printer to cool off, here is what the prints look like on the print surface. You can see I have added some glue to help them stick. The print surface is flexible to help remove the prints, but they can still be hard to remove when they are this small. Come on, break off. There we go. And there's the other one. So, here's what we ended up with. Beautiful. And here is where they will be used on the bin cage. Be sure to watch my videos on building a hamster bin cage if you haven't already done so. So, that was pretty easy, wasn't it? Anyone with a little patience can get started with 3D printing. So what are you waiting for? If there's anything you'd like to see me design in 3D print, be sure to leave a comment. Also, leave comments on your own experiences with 3D printing. I like reading all your comments, so keep them coming. And if you like this video, be sure to peck at that like button. And don't forget to subscribe and peck at that notification bell to be notified of all my new videos as they become available. Thank you, and we'll see you next time right here on Dr. Play.